Hey folks, how's it going? I think I'm actually getting to the point where I kind of know how to set up for a stream at the beginning instead of uh like kind of fumbling quite so much. Let's see. Like I think I've successfully changed the title and I have posted that I'm live on Tumblr and I have a chat window open, so I think I'm more successful than I have been in the past on this. So let's see what happens if folks are coming in. Hope everybody is having a good Pi Day. I know that's kind of a silly thing, but I like Pi Day. So, sorry, just still trying to get used to certain things. I do still need to figure out how to get the um, what's it called? I need to figure out how to do a better chat overlay than what I've got right now because I think the chat overlay is a little sad as it stands currently. So let's see, clicking through various windows to see what's up. Um, okay, so how is everybody's Saturday? Hey Bixby, how is everybody's Saturday going so far? I don't have any idea what sort of time zones anyone is in, so I don't know how far into our respective Saturdays we are. I'm pretty early into my Saturday, but little like I was thinking about trying to bake before this so that I could have my pie done by the stream for Pie Day. Because pie needs to set for like quite a long time. Like I'm pretty militant about the fact that like most pies need to set for at least 4 hours in order to not suck. uh, but yeah, I just did not have the wherewithal to be baking on time. So um, yeah. Yeah, still fairly early in your day. Yeah, it is yeah, like I post in PST obviously, so it is 10 a.m. here, and I did kind of wake up early. I did uh, have enough time to listen to a comedy special while I was wandering around and doing stuff before the stream started. No, you don't need to go outside, eat your food. Um, yeah, I took her out before I went. She has had her shot already. Her food is down for her to finish, so she should be settled, but she's probably not going to be settled because what would a little dog be if not constantly causing chaos? So, got any fun plans for today for your Saturday that's still pretty early? I mean, obviously we're hanging out here. That's clearly fun. It's fun for me. I've been really enjoying this. So thanks again to everybody who comes by and joins the stream. I do really appreciate the group of folks coming to make sure that I'm not constantly alone in a room talking to myself. So, um, well, fair enough. Fair enough. This is honestly most of my plan too, other than baking. So, okay, little bug. Yes, here. Okay. Okay, more peas. More peas. She loves her frozen peas. So, I guess what we can start with, I forgot to do this last week, but prices hadn't really changed, so it didn't particularly matter. So I'm going to do some computer searches so that we can get some computers for folks for OK Computer. So let me bring a couple pages over here. Okay. Definitely, sometimes the balance between admin and the actual creative writing time is hard to strike. So I hope that you figure out what is going to work best for you today. It's sometimes I feel like I'm using admin to avoid writing time, and then using writing time to avoid admin. So Where it's like, yeah, I can use one to procrastinate on the other fairly effortlessly, which is a little not ideal. So, you know what? I think I'm going to try to do desktops this week. I've done only laptops for the last like month, and I guess we should see how terrifying desktops are at the moment. So, Windows 11. So, and I'm okay. I don't know that I've set out specifically the minimums that I search for when I'm doing these things or like explain them very clearly. What I am looking for is basically a computer that would be functional for the whole like Facebook kind of machine, the Facebook machine kind of thing that I've defined in the past, where it's like it'll be fine for running a few browser tabs. You can watch videos on it okay. You can do basic office suite kind of stuff, and maybe like super light video editing or photo editing. Like, you know, that's what I'm looking for when I'm looking for these kinds of computers. The kind of thing that like covers about 90% of like most basic computer users and like office computer users. Not good at all for any gaming, but just for like if you need something to get through college, if you need something to like get basic office work done, this is the kind of computer that like, you know, if you were trying to get a job at like a online call center, a remote work job at an online call center, this is a computer that would serve those needs. So I don't know that I've ever like fully defined that out loud and clarified it. So, but that's what I'm going to be looking for. So, yeah, no, definitely the using other time, like I 100% end up writing while I'm doing like housework and things like that, because it's just, yeah, like whether it's fiction or if it's like essay planning or things like that. So because your brain will be better for you sometimes if you're like not actually thinking about the writing. Um, so let's see, operating system. I want to do Windows 11 Home and Windows 11 Pro. The reason that I am doing Windows 11 for these is because the other operating systems are no longer supported, and I don't want to recommend unsupported operating systems to people who may not know basically how to make their computers work. And I've talked a little bit about this before with the hard drive capacity, or the SSD capacity. Like, I think that you are going to want a minimum of 256 gigs, and it's much better if you can go like up to a terabyte. Oh, man. It's very funny the way they divide this up though, because like this is going to exclude a lot of stuff that's like 512, and 512 is going to be the most common. So basically I wish they had something where it was like just if I could do like a greater than instead of let's see. Yeah, because like if I hadn't done that 512, it would have excluded those 22,000 drives. So, but yeah, okay, let's apply that filter. Buggo, you're okay, honey. She's a little crybaby. And I'm probably also going to save this search. I do think I threw up the link on Tumblr. I just linked it in the image instead of in the uh, um, instead of in the text. Maybe I need to. I don't know. I have so many things set up on my computer to prevent stuff from like showing up and annoying me on various websites that like I can't even necessarily see it when I share the link for like an actual Twitch stream, because Privacy Badger is like, no, you have locked down this kind of display, and I'm like, that's correct, I have. I don't want to show that. So yeah, little funny on that. So yeah. There's so much stuff that like, you know, it's like I just like, okay, cool, I'm not gonna see that song or you know, watch that TikTok or whatever, because it's like I have it set to not show me because I don't want it annoying me on any platform. So, but like I said, I'm probably going to end up saving this search later, like in a document, just so that it's ready to go. Because the last set of searches that I had were outdated. Okay. So Core i5, we're going to be looking for more modern ones than were saved before. You're okay. It's okay. Hi, crybaby. Can you hear her? I don't know if she's audible. I don't know how bad my headset is at this point. Yeah, are you singing? Yeah. Okay. Come here, crybaby. There's still a pea in there. You should still eat your pea. Yeah, there's just no way to make sure that she's not going to be a fuss budget early in the stream, unfortunately. Feed her early, feed her late, take her out, don't take her out. She's just going to make her opinion known. Um, but yes, like I said, I'm going to be saving the searches here so that I can just drop it into and paste the search in the future. I guess I'm probably going to redo one of these maybe every month. So trying to have relatively modern-ish processors or really badass but older processors. So let's see. The Ryzen 5, it looks like they don't actually have any of the newer Ryzen 5, so I kind of want to avoid them. The Ryzen 7, also, that looks like only kind of older stuff. i3, that's all older. i5, okay, there we're getting a little bit, okay. 12th gen, 13th, 14th. Don't want to. Hi! I know. Eat your food. All right, and then i7, same thing. We're going to do 12th gen and newer. And again, at this point, 12th gen is about 4 or 5 years old. So 13th and 14th are definitely going to be preferable. Actually, I'm wondering if I should even just take out the 12th. Just do 13th and 14th. That's what I'm going to do. And then we'll do the Core 7 Ultras and the Core 5 Ultras also, if they've got any available. Which is the newer. It used to be that the Intel processors, it was the i5, i7, now it's the Core 5, Core 7, or Core Ultra 5, Core Ultra 7 for the various lines. I don't remember what the actual like lines of the processors are called. Like what there's so many things that I just wish they would like give something like a generation name where it's just like, okay, cool, this is just in numerical order. Like that would be a little less frustrating. So I don't even want to do 10th gen on the Core 9s. Like I'll do 12th on the Core 9s. We'll go back that far at least on the Core 9s or the i9s, but not to 9th. Let's see. Okay, don't want to do any of the Xeon processors. Wow, they don't have any of the Ultras or anything yet in this. That's interesting. Too new possibly. Hey Rash, so the computers are basically, so my job is involves buying computers for other vendors and things like that. I have a blog that I've run for a couple years off and on that is called OK Computer, where I give recommendations for computers for people who want to know what is a good computer for the price, because people mostly only buy like one computer every few years, so they don't know what a good computer for the price is because they're basing things on the last time they bought a computer. So what I do is I take a look at both refurbished and new computers and see what is like perfectly reasonable, given the fact that I'm buying 5 to 10 computers a week, so I know more frequently what the actual current modern standards should be than most other people. So this is just the reason I do refurbished computers is because like I will frequently see posts on Tumblr where people are like, doing fundraising to purchase a computer to replace a computer they're having a problem with, but the computer they're purchasing to replace, the older computer is like also 10 years old, and it's like, don't spend $200 on that. If you're going to spend $200 on a computer, this is the one that you should get. So that's basically what I'm trying to do is just like make a basic resource where if people have to get like an emergency computer and they want to know that they're going to get something that's going to work for like the refurb computers, I would say that I'm looking at here are usually going to last for at least like 2, maybe as much as 5 years, and the new computers should be typically 5 to 7 years. They should be able to keep up with standards. I am going to have to take Tiny Bastard out because she is crying so much. So I'm going to apply the search filter and Do we want a video up while I'm taking the crybaby out? See if I can put up some variety or other of video that I've put together in the past. I don't know. I know a lot of people do like React videos and things like that, and I just like don't know if I should be like actually reacting to other YouTube videos or if I should just be putting up like the videos that I make. Because like I do make YouTube videos sometimes that are like outside of the stuff that I do. I'm just trying to find videos to. Yeah, I can put on one of the songs. So let's see. I don't know. I feel like a lot of my songs are cringe. Like the, you know what? I'll put on Spiders. Spiders is also cringe, but come on, YouTube. Why are you being like that? Oh wait, no, I don't want to put on Spiders because there are a lot of actual spiders in there. And I don't want it to be potentially a problem if people are having spider issues. Come on, buddy. Okay. There we go. Okay, I'm going to put on Sirens again, which is the song that I did last time. So hopefully we will be back within 3 minutes and 41 seconds. So, okay, I guess that was more than 3 minutes and 41 seconds. My bad. Let's see. Hi, Indigo. So the i9 versus Core 9. So the deal is that there's a division between the Core 9 Ultra, the Core 9, and the Core i9. Those are all different kinds of processors. If it's got an I in front of it, it's now the older generation. What you would be looking at is a Core 9 Ultra or a Core 9. But the processor is not the kind of thing you are generally going to upgrade. So it's definitely not going to be the preference to upgrade there. So yeah, the Core Ultra, there is a difference. The Core versus Core Ultra, the Core Ultra is the better one. So yeah, but okay. So we are back and doing our search. So okay, we've got. Okay, those are popular filters, not the applied filters. Okay, I've got 25 filters applied. I don't. Okay, this is a pre-owned B-Link 12th gen i5 with 16 gigs of RAM. You can get these new for this price. So I don't want that kind of bullshit included in my search. So we're going to do major manufacturers, also because they're going to be better guides for like hardware upgrades from major manufacturers. So let's go with brand and see all. And yeah, that's a whole shitload of. Okay, so we'll go Acer, Alienware, Asus, Dell. We're going to do HP only because it is not paying HP, but because it is refurb. Lenovo, MSI. I'm not going to do NZXT for refurbs. That's not a good choice. Okay. So these are the brands that I'm willing to go with. So there are 1,100 plus results. So yeah, and like, look, the B-Links, like the prices are definitely higher now than they would have been a couple of years ago because of the RAM issues and everything like that. But yeah, you shouldn't. If you're buying first of all, skeptical about buying B-Links. Second of all, you should not be buying one used. Third of all, if you are buying one used, you should not be paying more than $150 for one ever. But let's also sort by price plus shipping, lowest first. So there we go. So man, it sucks that that's like the lowest cost with these specs. So yeah, $279 for 12th gen, 16 gigs of RAM. That SSD is too small. We're gonna remove that filter. Um, so, okay, but now that's actually cheaper with a bigger SSD. I asked for the, whatever. Okay, fine. And let's also make sure that this is buy it now only, because I don't want stuff that you have to do an auction on. Interesting. Because it's weird because we've been finding laptops that are like under 300 with these sorts of specs. It's weird that the desktops would be like so much more. But that's also something that I've been finding, generally speaking, is that like desktops have been more expensive than laptops, like when I've been buying them new for work in the last couple months. So yeah, this is a little, this is, I excluded things with 8 gigs specifically. Why is this including stuff that's got 8 gigs of RAM? Like, that shouldn't be in this search. Why is this here? No, I don't want the best listings. I want more results. I want the things that I actually searched. The internet has become such a fucking hello, happy stream, welcome, welcome, Schnappy Films. Like I get I get really aggro about the fact that it's like, no, I searched this website. You don't know better than I do. Don't show me the best results because I know that that's your sponsored results or your prioritized results or your results from people who either pay more or spend more time on your site. I don't want that. Oh, okay. She's in her little box being cute on the other side. Sorry, I'm just going like, wait, where's the dog? But yeah, I need to figure out a way to unfuck that. I need to figure out, I mean, like, obviously I've excluded that now from this particular search. So like, if I save this search, it's going to be, I don't, why are people always calling me? If I save the search, like it should, in theory, like leave out the, we've included the best matches, and it's like, no. I asked for a specific thing. Show me the specific thing. I'm really disconcerted at the fact that a lot of these are as expensive as they are. Like, let me see what this Lenovo is. Let me see what the processor is. So okay, so this is a Neo Q Mini. The brand new with a newer processor. These are only $700. This is at least 3 years old. It's weird that it's $400 for a 3-year-old Mini. But let's see what the processor is on this one. Yeah, 12th gen. So that's an older processor for this price. So, yeah, no, I'm generally speaking frustrated by the fact that the internet continually thinks that it knows better than you what you want these days. Like oh, these are the best matches. Oh, this is the best search. And it's like, no, that's advertising prioritizing. That's part of why, like, as much as like people can be like critical of DuckDuckGo, and I am sometimes critical of DuckDuckGo, at the very least, it's not doing that kind of bullshit for the most part with the searches that you run. So I'm going to have to maybe do a little bit of separate searching to figure out, like, yeah, let me see if I can get this to, I wonder if I can get this to do a search for the same thing, but I want to keep all the same filters applied, but like do laptops instead, but that will take some time separately. So I'll just leave this be for now, and I'm going to dig around later and see if like I'm missing something very obvious that's like, because we should be able to find a perfectly reasonable $250 refurbished computer that doesn't fucking suck. The fact that we're not finding it is annoying to me. So, but we're going to do the same thing looking for desktops that are new desktops. And again, annoyed by the fact that I can't search just for all desktops. Also, I think, did we do this last week? And it was like forcing us, or like it had, I think we looked at this and it had incorrect things in the workstation category, which is part of why I was so annoyed that you can't search for everything at the same time because it was like calling a normal desktop a workstation. But let's see, and we're just going to go with what's in stock because that's a little bit easier. Processor. I wish it would let me sort these by like how many there are. And yeah, we are on the second generation of the new iteration of the Intel processors. So basically, like the last generation of the old type of processors was 14th gen. So the ones that we're looking at would basically be like, if we're thinking of it in those terms, like 16th gen. So I'm willing to go back as far as 13th gen because that's the last 4 models of processors, but I'm not really willing to go further than that. So these ones that are 14th gen, I'm okay with that. And the 8000 and 7000 series are acceptable for those guys. I don't know why it's not letting me check any of those, but maybe they're just out of stock. Okay, so update our search and sort by price low to high. So yeah, they changed how the numbers work I guess 2 generations ago. So they released the newer line about 2.5 years ago, something like that. So yeah. Yeah, no, it's frustrating. Yeah, Indigo North, the prices on used but recent are going up partially for that, but it's odd because we're not seeing the same thing happening with laptops. So used but recent laptops are not having the same price crunch as desktops. It's also strange because we are able to find like a basic laptop for $400 that has like the same or better. It has better specs than this. So I don't know why. Or we can get something that's a laptop that has equivalent specs and is like one of the big 3 manufacturers. So yeah, because an $800 NUC shouldn't be in. Like that's the deal, is like it's $900 for a basic ass Asus desktop small form factor computer. Like this is not $900 worth of computer, especially not if it's an Asus as opposed to like a Lenovo or a Dell, which is going to have a better warranty built in for a desktop. The MSI, okay, you look at this and you see the included graphics card and it's like, that's not bad. $1,000 for this desktop specifically, not bad. Not great, but not awful. But like, yeah, this the one? Yeah. So this VD5 D2 is like the basic desktop that we've been selling at work forever, and these are the ones that in November I was getting them for $620. So I know that a part of that is obviously the a huge part of that is the RAM and everything like that, but it also very much feels the decoupling of, I wonder, I'm going to look at PC Part Picker because I'm going to see if they actually differentiate between UDIM and SODIM RAM, because I'm wondering if the price shocks are not hitting SODIM the same way. Because maybe that's part of what's going on here. Is like, does this actually show us the form factor? It doesn't show us the form factor. So, but let's look at our standard DDR5 5600. So it's at least kind of stabilized. The price didn't go up from it didn't really go up in February. It looks like it's starting to trend up a little tiny bit in March, but and I haven't seen the prices like getting staggeringly higher in the last 2 weeks, but we did get warnings from our vendors that the prices that they had in February, which were set in December or were set in January, were going to be increasing in March to make up for this change in prices as opposed to this one. I don't know if the thing that I'm pointing at is being covered by the, okay, so there we go. Here, sorry, my bad. The chat is covering things. But yeah, so you can see that prices stayed relatively stable for February and March. The warnings that we got from our vendors that the prices were going to be going up in March are because it was accounting for this price change, not for this price change. And you can see it's starting to trend up a little bit here, but that's not telling us anything about the form factor. And if you're not familiar, SODIMMs are little guys that go in laptops. UDIMMs are the longer guys that go in desktops. And I'm wondering if part of the difference in prices is because UDIMMs are more expensive. However, I mean, a lot of these computers, like if we're looking at the minis and the micros, these would have SODIMMs in them. So it's using the same kind of RAM as a laptop would. Like the components in this are the same as the components that you would find in an Asus laptop. But you would probably, but the $420 Asus laptop that we've been looking at, or the $430 Asus laptop we've been looking at for the last 3 weeks that has the exact same fucking specs as this, is literally like it's almost half the price. And I don't know what the fuck is going on with desktops, and that's frustrating for me. And I'm maybe gonna end up having to dig into it a little because it's making me a little bit crazy. But yeah. Let's see. Okay, so Rash, for the non-ultras, if you have, for instance, an i9 12900K, the i5 versus i7 versus i9 is there a short way to tell performance within a generation. The first two numbers after the dash, in this case 12, means it's 12th gen, etc. 12th gen i7 might be better than 11th gen i5, depends on improvement, For the ultras, it seems like similar, but they started counting from gen 1 again, so ultra is newer than... Okay, so the deal is performance varies tremendously between generations for a number of reasons, including like power standards and things like that. And that is why something like Technical City, which I've linked a few times, and I'm going to link again, I'm going to bring it up right now, is what you would use for that sort of comparison. So we're going to use a couple of the computers that we're looking at right here. So let's go with this NUC, and actually let's go with one of the eBay computers. So there we go, this Dell Optiplex. So this has the i5 13500T, and this NUC has the Core 5 Ultra 125H. So this, let me go back to where this was. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay. So I think this is a first gen processor, and first gen of the new type, and this is a 13th gen. So these are about 3 years apart, and they're both in the 5 category. So we are going to compare the sorry, the ADHD. We're going to compare the i5 13500T. So processors. We're going to compare that to the Core Ultra 5 125H. And remember, the Core Ultra 5 125H is at least 3 years newer than the other one. So let's hit compare and see which is better. Core i5, the 3-year-old one, is better. It's got a 10% increased performance, and this is probably, so this has 20 threads versus 18. They're both 14 core. It's the power that's the difference. So this is a 35 watt versus a 28 watt, and so there's no quick way to do things, but using a comparison tool like Technical City, which I am going to also just go ahead and drop the link in the chat again. Like that's specifically why I use this tool, is because there is no quick way off the top of the dome to like know that that's what to do, or that what's better. But I will say, like, if you're looking at i5, i9, i7, or Core 5, Core 7, Core 9, or Core 5 Ultra, or Core Ultra 5, Core Ultra 7, Core Ultra 9, 579, the 5 is the low, the 9 is the high, and the Core 5 versus Core Ultra 5, the Core Ultra 5 is going to be the higher performance. The numbers after it and the letters after it, it really fucking depends from processor to processor. So Technical City is the really good tool for comparing these kinds of things, because it just shows the very specific, like, yep, this is why. And also, I don't know that I've ever scrolled down while doing this, but like, or while showing this specifically on stream, but like, this is there are a lot of specs here. So but yeah, so this one says the 13th gen is 77% better for the money. And then, yeah, kind of a scatter plot comparison. But yeah, I guess that the i5 has more performance cores, and the Core 5 Ultra has low power cores. Again, different thread speeds. But also, like, look, so the base clock speed on the i5 is way lower than the base clock speed on the Core 5 Ultra. The boosted speed is pretty comparable, but like this one is still like the higher performance processor, even though its like base speed is like way lower. So, but yeah, yeah, no, and the Ultra, it's just basically, so the Ultras usually end with like H, U, or T, and I think that H is like, it has to do with the power ratings and everything like that, but yeah, it's such a mess that like I specifically rely on additional tools like Technical City to be able to get the information, because it's really genuinely not something that's easy to know. There are so many that are out there, and it's a little easier if I'm doing this for work and it's like, oh, okay, cool, I know that there are like 3 to 5 processors that I'm looking at constantly. But if I'm doing a comparison like what I'm doing here, where it's like, okay, let's look at the eBay computer versus the brand new computer. Well, if we're looking at those two and this one has a better processor, and let's go back to this eBay. So this is a like 5-year-old computer minimum, 325. It's refurbished, but it's like business refurbished. I don't know. Promo Beer Guy, I'm not 100% certain. Like, I don't know. I don't know if Promo Beer Guy is reliable and only 141 sales. I would be looking for somebody with like or ratings. I would be looking for somebody with a few hundred ratings at least. But, that genuinely may be a better deal. Well, it's definitely a better deal than a $900 or $820 NUC. Like, and that's part of, again, why I'm doing this, is like, all right, if we're looking at these two things and you need a computer that like you need to like work for a couple of years, like this is going to be a better deal than buying this thing brand new right now. So, but yeah, and yeah, it's that's the other thing though, is like the laptop versus desktop, like the mobile processor, that's becoming less of a difference too. I'm a little lost with the newer generations of processor also, and I'm learning more about AMD than I ever had in the past, because I'm selling AMD more than I ever had in the past. But I just, like, computers fucking suck right now. And it's really, like, I don't want to say it's really grim, but it's like, it's just disappointing, having been in the industry as long as I have, seeing the way that, like, it doesn't feel like we're getting the same sort of performance improvements that we had in the past. It doesn't, I mean, like, graphics cards continually get better, but it's like, it seems like graphics cards just get better because it's like, okay, cool, you get a GPU that's got like more threads going at the same time, plus you just throw a shitload of RAM on there. And it's like, of course it's going to get better when you're throwing a shitload more RAM on every generation. But like, I don't know. It feels like the technology is currently very stagnant in a way that's sort of strange given the way that like, I guess there's like, to a certain extent, you have to like assume that like, okay, not every hockey stick graph is going to continue up forever. Like computer performance, like at a certain point, we're going to hit a limit where it's just like, you know, it's just not going to improve past a certain point. But like, it doesn't feel like we're there, and I don't know. The industry feels very strange at the moment. I mean, DDR4, you should be able to get secure working, like secure boot working. I mean, so if you have a board that is DDR4, you're not going to be able to upgrade to DDR5. You would have to upgrade your entire board. So that's, you know, with the way the RAM generations work. So the thing about DDR4 is the reason that it's currently getting more expensive is because DDR4 is out of production. That went out of production in September. So let's go back over to the memory price and let's go DDR4 16 gig or DDR4 3200 is what I typically look at. But yeah, so the price hasn't increased quite as crazily, but you can see it starts ticking up in September when or I guess it was October, they announced the end of the manufacturing date for it. So, but it does start going up, and it's more variable than the other stuff is. But yeah, definitely still like, yeah, $600 for a 32 gig mod or for a 32 gig kit as opposed to like, yeah, it was at $200 last August. So even for DDR4, the pricing has increased pretty significantly. I should probably open my box of DDR4. Do I have scissors here? This is also, by the way, a very funny package for the RAM that I got because I believe there's a single sodium in this. So let's see. I have to have a better option for cutting that than that pair of scissors somewhere here. Aha! Utility knife. I knew I had something better than that. I mean, I guess I'm happy they didn't just send this in a fucking bubble mailer. But this was my eBay purchase of RAM that was $83 for like, you know, 30 or I think this is a single 32 gig module. So I hope it's a single 32 gig module, and this should be open box, not used. Okay. I don't know if you can see that, but I guess you can kind of see the light coming through it from the other side, like this little bit here. That's what's in there. So you know what? The packaging is pretty good, especially because it looks like this is original manufacturer packaging. So yeah, this is in the original Crucial package. So like that itself is supposed to protect the RAM. So I'm not gonna pop too many of these, but I have to pop a couple. Oh, it's so good. Okay. I don't get a lot of bubble wrap these days. I used to get a lot more bubble wrap, and I used to make everybody at the office insane with bubble wrap. So I worked really hard to break myself of the habit of constantly popping bubble wrap. But once in a while, you have to indulge. Okay, that's a whole lot of weird gunk that box just dropped on me. Great. So, don't want to close my headset cable in there, but yes, this is the RAM that I've got to upgrade my actually, oh no, oh man, I was mistaken. It's 16 gigs to upgrade to 32 gigs on the Alienware that I'm going to be using for doing streaming stuff. So it was $83 for a used 16 gig module for DDR4. So but yeah. It's the prices aren't great these days. So, and again, technically it was open box, not used. So open box and used are different. Open box means that it was opened and returned, as opposed to used being it was opened, put into a machine, used for a while, and then returned. So open box usually means that somebody ordered it, got it on accident, and they can't sell it for full retail because the seal is broken. But it is typically not seen the same amount of wear as something that was used. So it's not quite as bad as buying an $83 used module, but it's not good. So, but I will say, like, that's the packaging, like, feels maybe a little bit like overkill, but everybody who ships anything computer related needs to like learn lessons from like Etsy sellers who ship glass, because the Etsy glass shippers like know what the fuck they're doing. They know what the fuck they're about. They're really good at it. So that definitely feels like a little bit of overkill. That's worse packaging than you would have seen from an Etsy glass seller. But the Etsy glass sellers absolutely know how to package their shit so it'll ship really well and won't break, and they won't have to pay more for it. So market demands have led to wonderful innovations in the field of shipping glass on Etsy. Yeah, I feel like looking at desktops is just making me black-pilled on computers. So let's just make sure that we can still find a perfectly reasonable laptop before we go. And I think that's just going to unfortunately have to be the recommendation that I'm making for people right now, is just you're better off buying a basic laptop and getting a dock to connect it to. Oh man, is this the VivoBook we've been looking at? Has it gone up $200? Okay, let's see. Let me see if this is actually the exact model that we've been looking at. I think that is. Fuck. I'm gonna compare the actual part number to what I've posted on Tumblr recently for OK Computer. By the way, has anybody upgraded Tumblr on their mobile device recently and seen any changes in terms of like selecting blogs? Because I want to know if I'm the only one having this problem, and if it's only a problem because there's something wrong with me particularly, or if other people are having the same problem that I am. But first, let me again go look at OK Computer and see if I'm looking at the exact same machine. 1502YA BS51. Yeah, this is the machine that was $249 last week. Their discount instant savings on it went away. So or 429, not 249. Their $170 discount on this went away. So the computer that we've been getting that's been pretty okay priced is no longer pretty okay priced. So we've got to find another one, and it's just concerning. Just a little. Let's see what's in stock. We've only got 13 choices, and let's sort by operating system. They only have 4 Windows 11 machines in stock. What are the limitations that okay, so this is featured laptops. This is basic home computers, and of the ones that they've got available, 9 are Google Chrome and 4 are Windows 11. That's fucked. And this is an i3. This is a Ryzen. 8 gigs of. I'm one with 16 gigs and 6. Oh my god, that's very bad, folks. That is not good. Okay, let's look at business computers real quick. See what we can do. That's very bad. And sometimes I'll go back in a second and I'll look at the basic home machines and see what they have that is like special order, because sometimes you can get some savings on that. But let's just go 16 gigs on this. And okay, I already went in stock, and let's look at the operating system. Okay. All right. So this is like instantly better. For $50 more than the last one that we were looking at, you get more storage. You get theoretically at least this Windows Office license if you want it, which I wouldn't say that you want it, but like it is at least there. it's a Lenovo versus an Asus. Like $50 makes that actually a better. Okay, let's look at the processors. And I think, does this have, okay, sorry, this one, what's the processor here? Okay, Core 5. Oh, that's a Core 5 though, not even the Core 5 Ultra. Oh man, oh man, oh man. Okay, let's. Okay. Also, these ones that I'm checking that are like the AI Max or whatever, like it that's just a buzzword. It just means that it's AI ready. It doesn't mean that it's like that it's actually got AI on it or anything like that. Like, don't worry too much about that. But like it's just a marketing promotional term. So, and what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to not select the ones that are just the Intel Core, but one of the things that did come up when I did a search the other day was the Intel Core ended up getting included even though I was trying to avoid it specifically. 13th gen, I'm going to exclude that from this search. We don't want Qualcomm because those are mobile processors. All right, so apply selection, and we'll see what happens. If it gives us this same Lenovo, okay, here's the fucking annoying thing. That's not one of the processors that I asked to be included in the search. That is a worse processor than the one that I asked to be included in the search. This should be excluded. I don't like the fact that this is including it. I don't know why it's including it in spite of that. And yeah, same one. This one is Core 7, not a Core Ultra. That is like let me just double check that I'm not being fucking crazy here. Like, okay, wait, this can be included. But like Core Ultra, Core Ultra, Core Ultra, Ultra, Ultra. And then yeah, just the Core 7, Core 7, Core 5, Core 5. Those are excluded, but they're okay, so that's yeah, Core 7 Ultra, but this is Core 5, and the performance on this sucks. Like this is one that I ended up doing a comparison on, so this should be excluded from the search. This is not a computer that I would end up recommending, but I can't force it out of here for the search, at least on this site. And yeah, same deal. This is a Core 5, not a Core Ultra, and the performance does make a difference. I'm not gonna do a comparison right now because again, I think I did one last week. But let's just go sort by low to high. So those are the ones that immediately don't work. I don't buy HP. So basically, the lowest cost business laptop that we're looking at, which I mean, again, these are decent specs, and this is a Core 7. Well, wait, no, this is a Core 7, not even the Core 7 Ultra. So it's not even the fucking line that I'm looking at. So the line that I'm looking at that I'm recommending is like 849 is. I'm going to have to do some more digging that is like not actually on screen, but I'm very annoyed by computers right now. Very, very annoyed by computers right now. Everything's on fire. I'll also look at a couple different vendors. Like I said, I have so many filters set up that like my my Firefox doesn't get along with everything. So like my Firefox does not get along with Newegg. So I need to search Newegg on Opera in order to like actually display the stuff that I want to see. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize that like chat was blocking prices, but it's bad. It's bad. Long story short, it's bad. Um, So I will need to figure out where the fuck I have to put chat to. I don't want to make chat too small. I also am like annoyed by like the centering bias on this sort of thing where it's like I would love it if I could just drag this over so that I didn't have this like massive white bar. I guess I could do with that. But that just makes everything else look a little weird. But whatever. So sorry about that. Yeah, the prices are too high. The prices are too fucking high. I'm annoyed by it. Okay, so let's see. Stopped using the Tumblr app out of fury after an ad. You got restarted your phone. Oh man, that's fucked. Yeah, so the deal is the newer version of the Tumblr app, when you, because they did the thing recently where they changed it so it's the reblog now, whatever. It used to be that when you were sharing something, like if you were reblogging, you would select the blog that you wanted to share to from the drop down menu. Now it does the drop down menu, but it doesn't let you scroll, so it only shows like whatever like the top 10 blogs are or whatever. Hey Fluffy, or Hey Blue, I don't know which you prefer, but hi Fluffy Blue. But yeah, no, the new Tumblr app, like uh right, but Xkit might fix that, but I'm talking about Tumblr mobile, so because the deal is I've got like whatever it is, 58 or 60 or whatever side blogs. So if I'm reblogging to a side blog from mobile, I can only go to like one of the top 10 or 12 or whatever it is. And admittedly, I definitely am somebody who has more side blogs than normal. I do know that about myself, but it basically has meant that like I can't reblog to most of my side blogs on mobile. So there's like, I get one of the things that I do is, like I've talked about on Tumblr a few times, is that like I sort posts onto other side blogs when I delete them from my main. But like I Tumblr broke that on desktop a few years ago, and so I've been using mobile to get around that. But now I can't even on mobile go to the side blogs that I would want to reblog things to. So yeah, how many? I don't know how many. I don't know how many side blogs I've got, and I know that they don't expect people to have this many side blogs. It is an abnormal number of side blogs. But yeah, let's see. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58. I have 58 side blogs. And if I try to reblog on Tumblr mobile, let me see how many options it gives me from the drop down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It only gives me 13 in the drop down. So, yeah, and it's like not even a drop down anymore. It just like uncollapses a list. But like, yeah, you can't scroll through the list. So it just sits there. Like I can't go up. And it's like, well, I have literally 4 times as many blogs as that, so I need it to go up. So the recent Tumblr update kind of fucking bricked my ability to use Tumblr the way that I would normally use Tumblr. But I think that normal Tumblr use is a misnomer. I don't think that anybody uses Tumblr normally, least of all me. So, yeah, it's I didn't understand how to use Tumblr when I first started using Tumblr. Like, it took me a couple of years to figure out something. Hey, spiraling. It took me a couple of years to figure out like a pattern that worked, because like initially what I wanted to do was I wanted to use my main just as like a personal website that like people could go to. So I didn't want to reblog things from other blogs to my personal website, which is why I started setting up side blogs. But then I wasn't like interacting with people, so then I started reblogging things to my main, and then from my main reblogging to the other side of blogs. But yeah, it's just yeah, no, so it will let you scroll through the drop down on your desktop, but what will happen is if you are like, say you're looking at your historical blog, you're on your blog, you're looking at your blog, you're scrolling through and everything like that, you say, oh, hey, I found this post that I want to reblog. I'm going to reblog it to this side blog. You hit reblog. It takes you back up to the top of your blog. So unless you are going through and you are opening things in another window to reblog to another blog, which then doesn't like change the status of how many. There's an XKCD for everything, and my Tumblr use case is the XKCD about how overheating makes the spacebar work, basically. So the problem is, a couple years ago, they did that thing where it Now, if you scroll through history on your blog and you hit reblog, it takes you back up to the top of your blog if you hit reblog without opening something in another window. That is the reason that I went from having like 2,000 total posts on my Tumblr to now having like about 8,000, because I don't clean things up as frequently, because it now actually takes effort as opposed to just being something I can kind of do while scrolling randomly. So most of the time when I'm reblogging things to side blogs these days, because everything is kind of broken, I go to my archive and I reblog directly from the archive, and it's just kind of a stupid mess. But it's also like, nobody uses Tumblr like I do, so I guess I can't really blame them. It's just annoying because it's like, if I'm on mobile, it's like, okay, cool. Hey, there's something that I want to reblog to this like fandom that nobody knows that I'm in. But that's 40 blogs down, so I can't. So I have taken to messaging links to my side blogs so that I can go back to desktop and reblog them later, which sucks. That's not fun. I don't like that. Because I'm not going to remember to look at the links that I've sent myself. But yeah, yeah, like, and I, like, sometimes I'll message links to my side blog if it's something that I like want to look at later, or like, I will frequently message stuff. I will message links to stuff on my side blogs if it's something that I have kind of wanted to reblog, or that I'm like thinking about like in Tumblr terms, but it's somebody who has blocked me. So like that was something that frequently happened with the side blogs, or with the disinformation blogs that I was tracking, was they had blocked me, so I would reblog, or I would send messages from my main to my side blog because it wouldn't let me reblog, or I would reblog it directly on a side blog that was unrelated to either project, so that they wouldn't figure out to block that side blog. I'm also scared to delete several of the side blogs. Like, there are side blogs that are inactive and need to be inactive, like, and that I could completely delete, except that there's been that thing going on with Tumblr for a few years where people have like been accidentally deleting their main because they tried to delete a side blog, and it's like, I'm just not going to fuck with it. I have too many side blogs where this could go wrong. I'm just going to leave it as is. So periodically I will repurpose a side blog and I will like soft block everybody on it so that it has no followers, and then I will then I'll just basically delete all the content on it and start it as a new blog. So even given that I am sometimes repurposing blogs instead of creating brand new blogs, I still have 58 side blogs. But yeah, it's I just like sorting things. I just really like sorting things. So I am definitely Tumblr's George. This is, I am an outlier, and that is part of why they have not considered me in their UI design. So, and I will say this is one of the things where it's like, you know, getting yelled at by leftists online for paying for entertainment occasionally. I do actually pay for the Tumblr Premium, because the way that they have the patio set up for it, the way that they allow you to like see and navigate blogs, like unfucked a lot of things that had been broken for me for a long time, because the amount of notes that I get make it really difficult for me to stay on top of like any kind of like interactions, because I'm getting a couple thousand notes on things a day, so it's just hard. But the patio allows you to like filter things in a more like steady state, and so it's like, okay, I like basically never go to the movies or buy books or anything like that. I will allow myself to pay for Tumblr, even though sometimes they are fucking assholes. But it is one of the things where it's like, this is something that I am willing to pay for because of I am Tumblr's George. I have 58 fucking side blogs. It makes sense for me to pay for fucking Tumblr. I'm using up their server space. I owe it to them, I guess. So yeah, and I don't recommend that other people do it, and they raise the price, and that's shitty of them, and like, you know, it feels like it's collapsing into the sea. But yeah, it's a mess. Tumblr. It's also weird to me that Tumblr has, you know, survived through doing nothing better than any other people. It's just that they haven't done anything worse. Like, you know, hey, we didn't become Twitter. Hurrah, we have won. Like, great job, guys. So, yeah. The internet was a mistake. So, anyway, that was like several side tangents and everything like that, as well as looking at computers, which is stressing me out, and which I think I kind of want to do independent research on, because I want to see if I can find some better options, and I don't have the computer set up to do so. At least not while people are watching, and I would have to like turn things off and whatever. Do I have uBlock Origin turned off on this page? What? Is that why things are fucking with me? It's because uBlock Origin was turned off on this? No. No. That's why why was uBlock Origin turned off in B&H? I wonder if it broke something. I bet there was something that was going wrong when I was trying to order something for work from B&H, and I turned that off to see if it would like fix it, and it didn't. On the other hand, it also hasn't been really giving me ads, so I did remember to kill Zoom for the stream. Thank you for checking in. But yeah, let's see. Yeah, so I even I guess that's the other reason that I pay for Tumblr is that like I don't see ads on Tumblr because I have set it up so that I don't see ads on Tumblr. Like uBlock is on, and I primarily use Tumblr on desktop anyway. So the only times I was seeing ads was on mobile, and when I was on mobile and seeing ads, I didn't use Tumblr on mobile. That was basically it. And I didn't bother using it on the browser on mobile either. So like I paying for it has increased the amount of time that I spend on Tumblr because I don't have to worry about those ads, which also I know that was a thing that came up when they were like, hey, there's an accessibility problem here because of the ads that show up for people. And the response was, oh, well, you should pay for Tumblr Premium. And it's like, that's a shit response. People shouldn't have to pay to not be exposed to ads that are going to be like a fucking problem for them. But yeah, I think they've worked on some of that. It is also frustrating because, like, as much as it's like, oh, it's a mega conglomeration, it's a, they've billions of dollars, whatever. Like there is some stuff that legitimately, like, when people complain about certain ads on Tumblr, like, there's a lot of stuff that they just genuinely don't have control over because it's all done through fucking ad networks, and ad networks are evil. So, I mean, so here's the thing. There are sex workers on Tumblr in spite of the fact that they did the porn ban, so still you can absolutely still support sex workers on Tumblr, but that's another one where it's like it wasn't them specifically being puritanical, it was a result of Sesta Fosta, and that's why it's happening everywhere else as well. So, that's it's unfortunate that it's just that's how things are going to be unless I mean that's also part of the reason that like I have started my own website. Like I have a hosting provider who basically their limitations are, is it legal? If it's legal, we don't care. And that's that's where I'm at, and that's like I don't want to be reliant on platforms to do that because Sesta Fosta has specifically made it that to the point that like you can't rely on platforms because they're now required to police their content in a way that they weren't before. This is also specifically why anytime Section 230 comes up, I get aggro about it and start yelling about it. Like it's the same sort of deal. Like everything's on fire. We're breaking the fucking internet. Computers are a disaster. Everything sucks. I'm fucking bummed about it.